The top of the GRC leaderboard has been changing more than a pair of socks recently, with the league changing almost as often as the teams come out to play up a match. Today, the All Flakes have their chance to take the top of the table spot after the Dragons slipped up against the Guardians of the Crib this round. They're taking on Montpellier, who have been less than impressive in their last two outings, but have a big chance here to put the record straight. Hello everyone and welcome along to your home of rugby in the GRC, the Global Rugby Challenge, or the subscriber series, where you guys take the field against the world's elite. Today, Montpellier will be hosting the All Flakes, and like we said at the start, a big chance here for the All Flakes to take that #1 spot, the first team to play since the Dragons slipped up against the Guardians of the Crib. And to be fair, Montpellier aren't out of the chance of taking back their top spot either after slipping down in the last couple of rounds. They sit 5th as we go into today's matchup. 6 wins, 2 losses, and the 1 draw so far in their season. It was just a couple of weeks ago where they picked up that draw in the first meeting against the subscriber side. They drew 21-all against the Guardians of the Crib, but then were simply silenced by the Flakes the next round, going down 14 points to 0, but the Flakes were unable to really put together a convincing display, and there were no bonus points on offer for either side that game. The team, though, is pretty strong, and you look at the side, and there's a lot of guys who are really standing up to be counted for this Montpellier side. Their second row and back row especially are guys that are really putting in the top-notch performances. Guys like Ledevich, Willemse, Kamara, where Drago and Picamoles are standing up and leading the team from the front. In the back line, there's one man especially that is carving defences to ribbons, and that is Aaron Cruden in the number 10 jumper. He's one you've got to look out for. He's quick and he's nippy, and he gets through that defensive line before you've realised what has happened. The outside backs have been slightly disappointing. We've seen some real tries go bigging from guys like Nemani Nadolo, which you don't see too often, so if they can clean that up, guys like Nagusa and Nadolo can certainly put defences to the sword. Steyn and Zurfontein in the midfield have been impressive as well, and we're expecting more from the two South Africans going forward into today's matchup. Up against them, and like we said, looking for #1 spot will be the All Flakes. Currently, they sit second. 7 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. In the last couple of rounds, they've been fairly impressive as well, especially back in round number 8, when they absolutely thrashed the Leinster side, who were pushing to get back in that top half of the table. 41-14 that scoreline, and that set them up nicely with a big bonus point win. Since then, though, they struggled their way to a 21-0 win over the Scarlets, who are winless and bottom of the table, and like we said at the start, could potentially go to the top. That is what this game is all about. Win, and they take top spot. Win with the bonus points, and they put everyone else on notice going into the final couple of games. The starting lineup for today's matchup for the All Flakes will be as follows. The front row will be Shady Streetwalker on the loose head side, with Ben Bobs at hooker and Captain Nicholas Freilander on the tight head side. Vigo Ogier will be in the second row alongside Benjamin Grayson, Max Parkhill, Joe Savage, and Dean Mumberg will be the back row for the All Flakes. Into the back line, Nathaniel Edwards gets the nod at scrum half, with Samurai Coop lining up at number 10. Cohen Zeeley and Safari Rakakoko will be the midfield partnership, with Corey Davidson on the left wing, Liam Symes-Wells on the right, and Bob Jeffrey getting the nod in the number 15 jumper tonight for the All Flakes. All eyes will be on whether they can take the win over this dangerous Montpellier side that has shown they can score tries, but the All Flakes on their day can be just as devastating. It's sure to be an exciting encounter. So let's get down the two teams and get ready for kickoff. It'll be Montpellier to kick off there in the two-tone blue, and it's the All Flakes course in the black and white. And Earl Pinar, with ball in hand underway, we go around 10 clash between the All Flakes and Montpellier is underway, and Savage is trying to force his way from the kickoff, and
release.
Shot sending up back into his 22 to set it up for the first set play of the game. And Liam Symes-Wells is on the right-hand side, and he's kicked it straight down to Benjamin Fall, who goes across field back towards the 22, and Savage has got it back. Amazing, right place, right time for Savage. Back to Kerwin Zeeley as the All Flakes continue to look for that territorial gain. Benjamin Fall has it, now he'll run it back. Fans his way through one. Pops it back inside as Corey Davidson was left for waste on the ground there. Montpellier again, have another go. This time Davidson equal to the task from Levitic. And they set up on the halfway line. Great offline! Negus is in behind now. One to beat. Goes inside, outside. And the try will be to Kamara. And Montpellier hit the lead. What a start from the home team. Negus carved them up. And the turnaround cut ball backwards to Kamara to score. This was magical. Like Dago slipped it away to Negusa. Watch this. He turned before being tackled. Found Kamara as the defence couldn't see where he was going. And all they could do is Bob Jeffrey come across to shut it down. Not enough. And Montpellier strike first. Great speed shown from the back rower. His opposite number was chasing him down, but nothing Max Parkhill could do about that. Excellent work early from Montpellier. We talked about it. They are a dangerous side. They know how to attack, but the All Flakes kept kicking ball back to them. And they make them pay in the end. Here is Pinar from the sideline. I think he's taking the kicking as well. He sure is. It's a great kick as well. Kamara went over in the corner, and it makes no difference to Ruel Pinar, who adds the extra 2. We are less than 10 minutes in. And Montpellier hold a 7-point lead over the All Flakes, who have hardly touched the ball, to be completely fair about it. Simmer Coop gets us back underway, and they'll be wanting a bit more possession, but in the right areas of the field would be nice as Viggo Ogier takes the kickoff down, and from his own kick as well, it's very well taken. Mumberg away to Simmer Coop, who tries to step his way through the first line of defence. One out play from the number 10. Here's Edwards, fires left to Ben Bobs. Keeps it alive to Benjamin Grayson. There's numbers here. And Rocket Coco gets it nicely. He's still got Davidson. And the other left-hand side. A try, a reply, an instant hit back from the All Flakes. And a great one too from Corey Davidson. Early on attack. Only 2 or 3 phases from the All Flakes. And Davidson scores down the left-hand tram lines. Great work from everyone involved. Safari Rakakoko. It's all a matter of manipulating the numbers. Once you get a guy like Corey Davidson out in the zone, there's no stopping that. Great work, forwards and backs all involved there. Grayson as well. Mumberg started it all. Finished on the left. Complete opposite to Montpellier, who finished on the right. And an interesting start to this matchup. Both sides dominating their little stanza with the ball and quite easily scoring a try from it. As this match wears on, who is going to continue that trend? That's going to be who the winner is. It's a great start by both sides as Simmer Coop adds the extra 2. And we're all tied up at 7 points all. Montpellier and the All Flakes all tied up. An intriguing start by these two sides, attacking starts and a very aggressive start. 2 tries as Parkhill comes across, but Dean Mumberg takes it down nicely.
Release.
All Flakes struggle on to keep hold of this ball. It's slowly popping back, but it's Montpellier that's going to come away with it, and a great area to attack as well. Great work there, but Parkhill's turned it over. Coop goes away to Kurwanzili, and they're going to continue to look for the territorial advantage. Benjamin Fall quickly across the ears. He looks for that support play, gets a serpentine, beautifully away to Aaron Croonan. We talked about him at the start. Croonan dangerous, but Bob Jeffries turned him over, and Ben Bobs thunders into the defence and up towards halfway. It's a topsy-turvy breakdown there. Now to the right-hand side. Grayson does very well. Safari Rakakoko down the right-hand side. Puts a little chip over the top. Regathers as well. Tries to offload. And it's taken down and stolen from Negusa. Covering across very nicely the right winger. And he holds it up for Montpellier. And the ball will slowly come back. Pinar will try one ball. Serfontaine had it on the platter. And he spilt it and lost it and got it straight back. Jan Serfontaine, a dangerous player, but he's got to catch the ball first. Great ball, great delivery as well from Ruel Pinar.
Bind.
And the Springbok connection in this side is
Set.
well and truly to the forefront. Former All Black right in the middle as well. It's a scrum packs down for the All Flakes. Nathaniel Edwards feeds and he waits for it at the back, but he leaves it to Dean Mumberg and runs to Liam Simeswells, who manipulates defence, and Simeswells scores! Oh, great try! Right off the set piece, beautifully worked play, and Simeswells is a great finisher, and he shows it right on display there how good it can be. Simple play, but the footwork of the right winger was too hot to handle. Dean Mumberg did very well, drew in defenders, and then that deceptive play with Kerwin Seeley. Stretched the defence out wide as Liam Simeswells cut back in. Seeley went right, Simeswells went left, and that split the defence right in half. There we go, you saw it. Nadolo had to stay wide. There was two black jerseys out there with him. And Simeswells took it to his full toll and grabs try number 2 for the All Flakes. They lead now for the first time as well. The former champions, or they are the defending champions technically. The called Flakers, of course, the other side to have won the GRC in its history. Here is Samakoop, of course, with the side from their championship year. And it returns to look to make them go back to back. It's 14 points to 7. The All Flakes over Montpellier. We are just 8 minutes away from half time. And Montpellier will be looking to be the next team to score to try and get this one all back level again as we head into the second stanza of this match. Here is Freilander. Great desperate pass. It's really getting a bit messy at the moment. Treewalker's got a ladder like a Coco. He spots a little hole and charges his way through it. Mumberg gets it back to Samakoop, who was a bit off guard with that pass, but he gets his kick away. Benjamin Ford, credit to him, has been more than equal to everything thrown at him tonight. Rockakoko has a huge hole here. Rockakoko! Big man out wide as well. Finds Grayson. Lamb Simeswells. Has he got the wheels? Chase is coming up from Nadolo. Will they catch him? Nadolo of the chase. It's Lamb Simeswells. He's over. Just had enough. Lamb Simeswells all the way. Nadolo was catching him, but Simeswells was sinking and driving. He was never going to stop the momentum. Watch this from Grayson on halfway. Simeswells and Nadolo. He caught him up there. He was fending, he was swerving, he was left and right. And just when Nadolo got him, he had enough momentum to carry him over. Great work from Grayson. It was a terrible pass, but he made the best of it. Look at this. It was a huge battle between the two. Winger on winger. Speed on speed. But the agility of Liam Simeswells picks him up as second in quick succession. And a big turnaround in this first half from the All Flakes, who started off slowly but have fired up on all cylinders in the latter half of this first 40. And we'll go to half time with at least a 19-7 lead. Ken Samakoop, he does make it 21. And a comfortable 14-point lead will go to the All Flakes at half-time. A fast-starting Montpellier has been ripped back by the All Flakes, who now lead 21 points to 7 over the home French club. Well, half-time stats tell a bit of a tale, don't they, here? Possession all with the All Flakes, and opening little part of the half was all with Montpellier, who started off with a hiss and a roar, but were quickly dragged back into the mire by the All Flakes. That 35% was enough for them to start strongly, but they could not carry it on. They made a lot more defensive work, almost twice the tackles, and a lot of kicks going around by these two sides as well. Every time the All Flakes punt into Montpellier's half, they are very quick to kick it straight back. Line breaks have been pretty strong throughout. The All Flakes making 5 in the first half to Montpellier's just 2. They're getting 1 try from it. They won't be too aggrieved from the chances created in to finish as well. 21-7 the halftime score. Plenty to do for Montpellier to get back in this game, but as the Guardians of the Crib well know, they are fully capable to get that job done. Back out we go with Samakoop and the All Flakes. 1 try off the bonus point, and they'll be the first subscriber side to grab one against Montpellier if they can do it. Underway we go. Samakoop Goes left side with his kick that holds up nicely in the wind and knocked on. Pretty much straight away there from Montpellier. Advantage is here with the All Flakes. Parkhill! Oh, he crashes straight through. Big fend from the blindside flanker. Bobs goes to Safari Okakoko. Advantage is over. Seeley, oh, it's a bit desperate now. And Davidson, breaks down on the left-hand side. Wide to Streetwalker. Friedlander, the captain. Oh, he had a support player outside. It could have been a hand-trick ball. Here's another chance for Parkhill. Oh, desperately squirts it out the back, and Savage has done very well to dive on it, but he's wrapped up by plenty of blue jumpers. Streetwalker, he'll have a go close to the breakdown as he tried to force his way through. Turnover ball. And back it comes to Montpellier, and the All Flakes may have done their dash here with chance inside Montpellier's 22. Pick and go from Silasava as he pops it short. And a charging run. How have they not turned that over there? The All Flakes have done poorly. As Serfontaine tries to bust his way through but can't get away as they continue to go backwards. Pick-a-moles. Now they open it up. Oh, Negusa! Hammond! Oh, massive tackle there! That is huge! Game-changing moment from Corey Davidson. He's scored a great try, but now he's put in a massive tackle and turnover, getting the penalty that Simmer Cooper's quickly got the tee on for and will be lining up to take the shot at goal. Early in the second half, it is all about winning. But if Montpellier come back, this kick could prove the difference. They were down and out against the Guardians a couple of rounds ago. And they come storming back late to tie it up. The All Flakes are desperate not to let that happen. Not to them. More work to be done. The bonus point has been put on the back burner as the All Flakes go for victory at all costs. As up it goes. Oh, Okakoko is hit high. And that is a dangerous tackle from Aaron Cruden. And he's lucky not to be sent to the bin there. Giving him the death stare there, Aaron Cruden. Not interested in what the referee's got to say. Samo Coop, he'll look for the safety of touch as he just has the paramedics on the head. Not a bad target, they're fairly bright. The line out inside. The Montpellier half. 24-7 the score. Just over 20 minutes to go, and the line out's well taken in the front. Edwards to Samo Coop, who goes short to Parkhill, who's been absolutely outstanding. Has the blindside flanker, Max Parkhill. Plenty of opportunities still here, and a pick and go! And he'll thunder straight through! Great try for the All Flakes! It's Vigarogier! He scored one all alone! Off the base of the ruck, Vigarogier scores! We haven't seen many tries like that, but watch all that support on the left. He just went alone, and he was running away from Kamara Wadrago. They had no chance at all. Great try from Ogier. He's a hard worker in the side, and boy, he doesn't often get the fancy highlight reel stuff, but that one is right up there. Ogier scores, bonus point try. And after the pace we've seen from the Montpellier back row at the start, they were put on the back burners by the pace of Vigo Ogier, who scored a great try for the All Flakes. Unexpected. As they were struggling a bit there to get something going forward. It was all a bit messy. Ogier said, just give me that ball. And a little snipe from one of the tall timbers. And the All Flakes add another 7 to make it 31 points to 7. Surely now the dash is done by Montpellier. Rompinard goes high yet again. And Parkhill is, well, he's not got it. It's instead there for Okakoko. It's not alone. This has got to be a turnover for Montpellier. Surely it will be. Oh, you've got to support the man that takes the ball better than that, All Flakes. Big turnover. Stain away to Serfontaine. Oh, chopped down. He's going to lose this. How has he not lost it? Davidson was up over that ball like a flash. Now on the Pickaballs from the corner, Louis Pickaballs. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant by the number 8. Bob Jeffrey put him in the first row because he was done. Bamboozled by the big number 8. Look at this. Glorious work here from Louis Picamoles out wide. The dummy, there goes Jeffrey. Like a flash. He's gone and passed. Great tackle, Davidson. Up and over the ball, but just in time, Paul Willemse blew him off it. This was magical, and you got to feel sorry for Bob Jeffrey that was really committed to take him out in the corner. The ability of the big number 8 to plant that right foot down, dummy himself inside, and take the easy option to score the try. Fantastic work. And the conversion from Ruel Pienaar is flawless. And it's great to see tries from Kamara and Picamoles tonight for Montpellier, the back row. So we talked about at the start. Those guys are a real danger, and they have come to the forefront definitely for Montpellier tonight. Less than 15 minutes on the clock and we get back underway with it. Deep kick and a huge pass and a break from Steyn. He's away now, cutting in the ball in the defence. Looks to make a link up out wide, but he can't get away out there. Nagusa was waiting, but he couldn't get the ball. Here's Ruel Pienaar, and now he's all alone. Can he lose this ball? He does. Edwards gets it and he thumps it away, but Benjamin Fawley. Oh, he's knocked it well. It looks sideways to me. But a knock on is called by the referee. Benjamin Fawley's been brilliant for Montpellier tonight. But one little error. Oh, that's marginal, isn't it? You'd almost call that sideways.
Bind.
But the referee.
Sit.
No problem to call that one forward. Another chance now. For the All Flakes to put more misery on this Montpellier side. Oh no! Not a chance! The pack replies, and the All Flakes have been bulldozed off the ball. Just minutes remain. Cruden out to Steyn. Goes to Soffontaine, cuts it back in. Picamoles. And they give it back to the forwards. And Lidovic takes a hit up through the middle. Pienaar, turn around left and right. It's a bit complicated here, but they finally get it through Willemse. Numbers to his right. He could not find them though. Pienaar picking go here. He's got so much options. Oh, it's Aaron Cruden. Aaron Cruden against Science Wales. Who's going to win this race? Science Wales gets chased. Oh, great work. Aaron Cruden is amazing. Just when Science Wales went to make the tackle, he just picked a little bit off his left foot, and that left Science Wales scrambling at the floor. Great try, Aaron Cruden. Fantastic work here. What's Science Wales? He put the gas down. He hit him for wheels, and then just at that last moment, he left it to get as close as he could. But just that last little tickle, he put the little chink and jive left and right, and Science Wales had no chance of catching up then. There. Oh, brilliant work from Aaron Cruden. Sensational stuff from the former All Black fly half. It may be a case of too little too late for Montpellier, who have proven to be a very strong finishing side in recent rounds. 31-19, kick to come. There goes the buzzer. Wow, the All Flakes, they were pushed to the brink, and they can thank their lucky stars they took that extra 3, because in the end it wasn't quite all they needed, but it made a big difference to the final score. 31-21 full time. Montpellier definitely are a team not to be underestimated. They will make their way to the finals, I would guarantee it, and they are going to be a side to look out for. The All Flakes, though, bonus point win over Montpellier, first side to do it, but it was not the convincing victory that those words tell you. 31-21, 4 tries to 3, and the penalty to boot was the big difference. Tries to Kamara, Picamoles and Cruden, and all converted by Ruel Pienaar as well. 4 tries for the All Flakes, Ogier, Davidson and Science Wales with a brace. Simon Coop was 4 out of 4 from the tee, and also added that penalty goal that just nudged them that little bit of difference out. It was at that time 24 points to 7, and it seemed like there would be no way back for Montpellier at that stage, but they stormed back nicely, and 2 late tries, Picamoles and Cruden grabbing those pieces last off the rank. It was Kamara that started off in a hurry, and Picamoles and Cruden that finished with a flurry. 21-31, another case of what could have been if Montpellier were awake for that middle 40 minutes. Full-time stats, and we see the All Flakes were dragged back. What I want to see is line breaks. Oh, we do see it there, 7 by the All Flakes. Now, I'm pretty sure they had just 5 or 6 at half-time, and Montpellier were at 2. So a big turnaround, pretty even overall, but a great second-half performance from Montpellier that had them storming back into the game. If only they could have done that for, like we said, that middle stage of the game. They could have had themselves a couple of wins, to be fair. They should have beaten the Guardians, and you got to say, if they played that starting piece and their finishing piece throughout the whole 18 minutes here tonight, they could have well taken out the All Flakes. They just had to starve them with possession, and they are certainly a good enough team to put that result on their side. But the All Flakes do it though. They take the win, and they take 5 points, and will now sit top of the table, taking out the French club Montpellier, who are the best of the AI teams, and they fall by the wayside. It's the first time in quite some time that we have seen a substantial lead at the top of the table for any of the subscriber sides. It's always been 1 point, 2 points, or something like that, between 1 and 2, and at least 1 and 4. But currently we stand at 4 and 6 points between first place and second to fourth. That is the biggest lead I think we've had all season long. In saying that, the Flakes still have to play their last game. They'll be up against the Scarlets, you see, at the bottom of the table. No wins and just 4 bonus points to their name. The Flakes should take that one in a canter and take at least 4 points to put them up to 38, which will put us back on that situation we talked about with the lead at the top only being 1 or 2 points. But the All Flakes really took that chance with both hands, and for a side that has really struggled and sat down the bottom half of the subscriber teams all season long, they now take their chances right at the end. Now remember, the Flakes are the only side not to have lost a game. Montpellier were pretty close, but they've lost to all the subscriber sides, or they haven't beaten them. They've drawn with the Guardians and lost to the other two. They also lost to Leinster, who are starting to make a bit of a claim back up the leaderboard, but with only the 1 round remaining for everyone bar those 2 remaining Flakers and Scarlets, it's no chance of seeing Leinster storm their way back into that top 5. So we pretty much have our top 5 teams sorted. It's the All Flakes, Dragons, Guardians, Flakers and Montpellier. It is the battle for that 6th spot. Leinster hold at the moment by just a slender point over Castres, who have just a 1 point lead over the Crusaders. Now, you'd say the Chiefs, Saracens, Lions and Scarlets, their seasons are done, but there's still a chance here for those last 3, Leinster, Castres and Crusaders, to snaffle that 6th position. And of course, what would be waiting them would be possibly 3rd place, which at this stage would be the Guardians of the Crib. Let's have a look at that final round of matches. Wow, there you go. Crusaders versus Castres. So that instantly is going to knock one of those sides out. And then Leinster take on the Exeter Chiefs. If they win that, they are through in the 6th spot. If they don't, then it will be the winner of this one that takes that place. Scarlets will host the Flakers. That's the final game of round 10. And the Lions, Dragons, Guardians, All Flakes. Oh, that's almost what do you call a pre-quarter final, a 1/8 final. Goodness me, we really getting desperate with fractions now, aren't we? Between these two sides, anyway, the Guardians and the All Flakes. I mean, the way the Guardians played against the Dragons, who were first, now we're going to see the All Flakes, who are currently first, go up against the Guardians. We could have a real turnaround of the leaderboard going into those quarterfinals. The Flakers rounded out against Montpellier, who will want to finish on a flurry. They've had all 4 subscriber sides in those final 4 rounds, and then they'll probably face one of them in one of these quarterfinals as well. Then in the semi-final time, the winner of the 2 quarterfinals going up against 1 and 2nd spot, 1st and 2nd spot, and then the winner of those 2 on to the grand final. So that is sure to be an entertaining little round of matches. Righty-ho, it is 1 game of round 10 left, the Flakers versus Scarlets. I hope to see you all there for that one. Let me know your thoughts on the matchup below, as per always, and thank you for tuning in to the subscriber series. I'll see you all for our next matchup. Hope you all enjoyed the game, and I'll see you for the Flakers versus Scarlets. Until then, take care.